job, you know you need to do something to get to your next level, you're ready and you don't know what to do. Well, let me give you some steps. Let me give you some help. This is the video for you. Today, we're going to talk about what's your exit number? What is the number that you need to exit the school system, your job, whatever it is you're trying to do? And not only are we going to talk about it, I'm going to give you real practical steps that you can put in place and be ready. See, because you got to have a plan. Now, I will tell you this good lesson is inspired by our good sister, Tabitha Brown. And if you notice, when she talks about how she was able to move and do the things that she did, left her hometown, every time she had a plan. And so I'm asking you, do you have a plan, or are you just sitting talking about it, wishing, hoping, and praying and thinking that somebody's going to come and tap a wand on your head and you just magically get to where you want to be? Or perhaps you're going to wait until they fire you. You're going to wait until they let you go. You don't have to sit back and wait. You can put a plan in place to do the thing that you want to do and move about it confidently, intact, with your full integrity. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to lower yourself. So we're going to talk about what's your exit number. First of all, let's consider the first question we got to know is, what's our exit date? What is our exit date? People, it don't take 2, 3, 4 years to leave your job. I just need to tell you that. If you know that you are sick and tired of being sick and tired and you are fed up and you need to go to your next level, or perhaps you're one of those people where you've been given a vision, you know that there is something bigger for you, but you are afraid to step into it. Maybe that's you. Think about this. Or are you just tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul? I want to say to the people who got the vision, who you saw it, it came into you, it seeped into you. I want you to know that when God give you a vision, it's not a suggestion. I'm just going to say that for you one more time, because some of y'all think that when the Lord give you a vision, that he's just suggesting, he's just giving you an idea. No, when God gives you a vision, don't treat it like it's a suggestion. When he gives you the vision, he will provide the resources for you to pursue the vision and will open all the doors that need to be opened. But you first have to take the step and take action to show that I'm moving forward in what it is you said that I need to do. Let me say that first of all. And then some of us, this is what the Bayou Barbie said yesterday. The Bayou Barbie, LSU, sports. Y'all know we're a sports family over here. These young folks, they know a lot more than us older folks because they are, a little more enlightened. She said, I trust my next chapter because I know who the author is. Y'all can drop the mic on that one. Y'all can drop the mic on that one. That wasn't me. That was Bayou Barbie. That girl, Angel Reese, she said, I can trust my next chapter because I know who the author is. First of all, do you know who the author is of your next chapter? That's why you're scared. You don't trust the next chapter because you believe that this chapter that you're in is the highest, it's the pinnacle, it's the furthest that you can go. I know that's going to make some of y'all mad because when we put the mirror up to our face, that we don't like that. But let's go on. Let's go on. Let's pretend for a moment that you trust your next chapter. You know who the author is. You know who the author is, and you know who the co-author is. It's you and God, baby. Don't nobody get to tell you what you need to do. You get to dictate. You get to design your life. The Lord don't want you showing up to a job that you're miserable at. The Lord don't want you showing up to a place where you're not fulfilled anymore. It's not just good enough to be okay. It's not good enough to be just comfortable. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what is your exit date? Let's start there. What's your exit date? Is it 2024 or 2025? Because those are the only two that you can say. Those are the only two that you can say. Now, the only other one that we'll take is if you are 27, 28 years in and you know that you retire in 2 years. That's it. No, that's it. Other than that, You playing around. You're not serious. There go the strategy lady. Hey, y'all, if you with me live, give me a hey, what's up, what's going on? And if you're catching this in the replay, give me a hashtag replay, because I got some practical steps for you, some things for you to think about. Some will work for you, some won't, but I bet you're going to come up with some new ideas and some new inspiration from this session here. She said, oh, she's at it again. Walk that vision out. That's right. Step into action. That's right. I'm telling you. I want you to ask yourself, do you trust the next chapter? And if not, why not? Because you already know who the author is. And even if you don't believe in in a higher power, you're your own author. You're your own author. It's called free will. You get to decide how you get to live, what you get to have, how you exist, what you deserve, and all of those things. So first question, what's your exit date? What's your exit date? 2024 or 2025? Is it 2024 or 2025? And then the next thing, we got to come up with our exit plan. I get it. Let me tell you, I get it. We're not walking up in here just quitting our jobs, not knowing anything, no preparation or anything. I'm never going to advocate for that. The only way I'm advocating for that is if you are in an extremely toxic situation or if it is compromising your health. But in most situations, because many of us are in school systems, we are under contract, and I'm not against breaking a contract, baby. I'm just saying we're under contract. And so most of us are going to fulfill the commitment of that contract. So for some of us, it's going to be May, June 2024. Okay. For others of us, we know that we haven't done the things that we need to do to prepare ourselves. And so we're going to take the next year to prepare ourselves. That is okay. So we're going May 2024, June 2024, May 2025, June 2025. And there are some people who will leave in December 2024. Okay. December 2024. All of you people who are at will employees, they will let you go at will at the drop of a dime in a day. Don't you feel no commitment to stay? I need us to learn to be loyal to ourselves. I need us to learn to be loyal to our families. I need us to learn to be loyal to our health, loyal to our own well-being, and stop staying in places that you are no longer welcomed or respected at. So let's keep going. So the first thing we got to do is make a plan. We got to make a plan to exit. That starts by coming up with the date. And then we are going, once we come up with the date, anybody want to put their date in the chat for us? Tell us what your date is. Or come on, we got to be able to voice it. What is our exit date? So if we go back to think about this a little bit, yesterday we created the vision that we wanted for our lives. If you think about where we're at today we're taking steps to make that vision come to life. So what is your exit date? Now we're going to talk about the exit plan. Now this is where those real practical strategies come in at, okay? Y'all ready for this? Don't judge it. Don't knock it. Listen, this is the time to get your pencil and paper. I'm going to give you a few things that you can do, but you need to write it down and do what's going to work for you. So first of all, we got to have a plan, right? We got the date. We got to come into honesty and reflection. We got to know how much do we need each month to pay our bills? The bare minimum. What do we need to pay the bare minimum of our bills? And let me correct some of us when we get ready to say, well, the money that I make now don't pay all of my bills. Don't do that. Don't do that. If the money you make now don't pay all your bills, you need to quit your job today. You need to quit today. You need to be trying, because you don't have a money problem. You have a mindset problem. You will go to work every day for something that does not pay all of your bills. You got a mindset issue. So most of us, we can pay all of our bills. We don't feel like we are being valued at what we should be receiving. And we know that we deserve more. Okay, so if you can't pay all of your bills right now, that's a totally different problem. You got a mindset issue because you are putting yourself in a situation willingly. So what is your monthly that you need to bring in? What is your bare minimum? So for most of us, and keep in mind, some people live in high cost areas. I am not talking about high cost areas, but for most of us, you know, when we pay our bills, $3,000, $4,000, if we can bring that in a month, we'll be good. We'll be good. So think about, what is it really? What's your house note? What's your car note? What's your car insurance? And write these numbers down. You know what these numbers are. You know exactly what these numbers are. You know what your house note is that you pay every month. Write it down. You know what your car note is that you pay every month. Write it down. You know what your car insurance is. Get the calculator out on your phone. Add those three numbers up. You know a roundabout of what your light, gas, and telephone bill is. Write it down. Your gas bill is normally $100 a month. Your electric bill is normally $175 a month. Your cell phone bill is normally $100 every month. Write those numbers down, add them up, add all those numbers up. These are your essentials. Any other essentials? If you have childcare, you won't need that anymore, babe, because you won't be working. So you won't need the childcare anymore. We're changing our lives, remember? So don't put down on the paper things that you will no longer need. You're going to need some groceries. You're going to need some groceries. So write your groceries down. And we're not buying all those lunches out anymore. So you don't need that number. You don't need that number. So come up with your number. When you think about what are your bare essentials. If I can just pay this, I'm okay. So you got your number. Y'all got y'all number. What's y'all number? What's the number? Put it in chat so other people can see. We got to stop being scared to share our information. These people online don't know you. They don't know you from Peter, Paul, Jane, or Mary. Put it in the chat. We can inspire one another. We can uplift one another. So now you got your number. So then you got to determine, you got to say to yourself, okay, so this is my number. We're just going to go with that number. She said her bare minimum is $3,000. Okay, so we're going to go with $3,000. Bare minimum, $3,000. How many months do you feel you need in order to be just okay? I didn't say to be comfortable. I didn't say to be 100% secure. I didn't say to feel like you don't have any stress or worries. That's not what I said. I said to just be okay. So if we think about that number, she said a bare minimum of $3,000. If you had 3 months of expenses in the bank account available to you. So let's just say her bare minimum is $3,000. She has 3 months, so $9,000. If you had $9,000 in your bank account and you knew that in June 2024, that was going to be your last day of work, would you be okay knowing that you put a plan together? And also understand, and this is the thing that you have to understand, because I don't want some person to say, I need 12 months. No, you don't. No, you do not. You don't. That's a savings. We're talking about a transition plan. So a savings plan and a transition plan are two different things, okay? We are talking about money that you are going to use as you are transitioning full-time into your business. Part of that money will be used to pay your house note. Part of that money will be used to pay your car note. Part of that money will be used to pay whatever. Right. Yeah. 12 months gives you too much time to sit and wait. Absolutely. And that will be a savings plan. We're not talking about a savings plan. We're talking about a transition plan. At most, you need 6 months. And that's at most. And that's only for those of us who can really get to 6 months. Because this is the other thing that I want you to realize. If your job fired you today, you wouldn't have 3 months sitting in the bank for you to sit back and chill on. And what would you do? What would you do? You wouldn't just sit back, twiddle your thumbs and be like, oh my God, they fired me. I don't know what to do. Lord Jesus, help me. They fired me. No, you would get up and you would kick it in high gear and you would do the things that you need to do to get where you need to get that house note paid, to get that rent paid. You will be filling out applications and doing all the things you need to do. So I want to bring us back and make sure that we are not, just saying stuff just to say it because we're scared. It's okay to be scared. That's why we're making the plan. What's not okay is that it's not okay not to take action. So let's say we're going with 3 months. Okay. 3 months is your bare minimum, $9,000. We are now, our goal number one is to save $9,000. You should have exit plan written on your paper, exit date written on your paper. You should have Goal number one, save $9,000, which is about 3 months of expenses. So you got your first step. Second thing I want you to do, now keep in mind, we still got time. So we're just now in April. Some people are leaving in May. Some people are leaving in June. Some people are leaving in December 2024. Some people are going all the way until May 2025. It's okay, whatever your date is. Adjust what I'm saying for whatever date you selected. So then next, now we are cutting our expenses. Let's be honest, we got to cut our expenses. We got to cut our expenses. So you're going to get your bank statement and you're going to look over and you're going to see, where's the majority of my money being spent? One of the things that I cut when I decided it was time for me to leave, and I'm just saying, this is what I cut. I don't know what you're going to cut. I used to get my hair done every week. And I said, I can't continue to get my hair done every week. I'm going to get it done twice a month. And I'm going to let my hair go for 2 weeks. And instead of taking that money and spending it somewhere else, I literally took that money and rediverted it into a separate savings account that was at a whole different bank. Now pick up on them gems now. See, because if we put it into our same account, we're more tempted to touch it for most of us. So I went and opened up a second account at a different bank. So I banked with one bank. Then I went to St. Louis Community Credit Union and I set me up a separate account. I put $5 in. I got the debit card, direct deposit, and all of those things. And then I diverted. Every time it was time for me to get that hairdo, I would send that money directly to that bank account. I also stopped getting my nails done. Now in 2024, a lot of us already know that acrylic and those blue lights and that laser and stuff is cancerous. So a lot of us already need to stop getting our nails done. They look pretty. They look amazing. I love the way they look, but it's not good for your health. And we're choosing cute over health. So for some of us, this is a great reason or a great opportunity to stop doing something that is no longer healthy for us. Now, when we didn't know that it was healthy, it wasn't healthy. That was one thing. But now that we know, it's a totally different one. And we know that these nails run $100 a month. Easy, $100 a month. And don't say, oh, mine only 70. Girl, that's 100. Stop playing. Stop playing. So for some of us, and we got to be willing to sacrifice somewhere. Let me tell you what you can do in place of that. You can go right on and buy you some OPI or whatever your brand of fingernail polish and make it a part of your Sunday to sit and give yourself a manicure every Sunday. Or maybe you go from your $70, $80 hand acrylic nails to just going to get a manicure that's now only $35. But the key is whatever you're going to take away, you're diverting that cash into the other account. You're not just taking it away and spending it on something else. Okay, so figure out what you're going to do to lower your expenses, okay? The next thing I want you to do, now this one is important. Now this one is really important. I want you to pay attention to this. And I'm not playing about this. I know you may have some reservation about it, but I really want you to consider this, okay? I really want you to consider this. I want you to, during this time, if you have any issues with your credit, I want you to work on your credit. I want you to work on your credit. If you do not have issues with your credit right now, if you have a credit score of at least a 620, I want you to begin to get an additional credit card. Okay. Listen to me. Listen to me. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Do what I asked you to do. Okay. I want you to do what I asked you to do. So some of us got 3 months, some of us got 6 months, some of us got 12 months before we leave our job. I want you to be honest where you are in your credit. You got time. It only takes 6 months to repair your credit. Trust me when I say it only takes 6 months to repair your credit. And then as you're repairing that credit, some recommendations are going to be made about the credit cards that you should get. Go ahead and get the credit card. You don't have to use the credit card. I'm not telling you to use the credit card. I'm not telling you to be financially irresponsible. I'm saying go ahead, get the credit card. See, they will give you credit when you don't need it. But when you need credit, they will not give it to you. This is what I want you to understand. And this is why we create a plan. This is why we create a plan. So go ahead and get a credit card. And I'm not talking about the ones you already have, because I got something for that too. The ones that you already have, I want you to call and get a credit limit increase. You want to put in a request for a credit limit increase. We just want it to be available. That's all we want. We're not about to spend this money. We just want it to be available. That's all we want to do. So my recommendation is it takes 6 months to fix your credit. Whatever situation you in, it only takes 6 months to fix your credit. So what does that mean? I'm going to come up with a plan to repair my credit. If I got 3 bills on my credit report, I'm gonna pay those 3 bills. I'm gonna set up plans for those 3 bills. I'm gonna talk to that. I'm gonna contest that debt. Whatever it is, I'm gonna do. So you should be writing down your steps. So on your paper, you should have your goal, your exit date, and then we got our plan. The first thing, goal number 1, is to save $9,000. The second thing is to work on credit. The third thing is to open up a new credit card. The fourth thing is to ask for a credit limit increase on the cards that we already have. Don't do them all on the same day. The fourth thing is we're going to downgrade our expenses. What are the expenses that we're going to take out to divert over into that savings account? What is that amount? What is that amount? Okay. So now we got some steps in place, and I want to make sure that we understand we're not using these credit cards. We're not. That does not make sense to create more debt as I'm trying to save money and plan a transition. That don't make sense. So this is not the time for you to go buy the couch. This is not the time for you to ball out and take the trip. No, this is a plan. This is why we have to come up with a plan. And so that's just there, tucked away. You're not touching it. It's just there in the back of our head, just in case. We need a just in case, okay? So I'm hooking you up with all you need. So you got to downgrade those expenses. You're going to get the new credit card just in case. We're going to work on straightening out our credit. Okay, we're going to ask for credit limit increases on our credit cards. The next thing I want you to do, I want you to figure out what is the support that you're going to need and where are you getting it from? What is the support that you're going to need and where are you getting it from? What is the support? So you're planning to do a new thing. You're leaving your job and going to this new thing, whatever that new thing is. Don't just try to start that from scratch. I want you to already be in some Facebook groups. I want you to already know what conferences you're going to go to. I want you to seek out a mentor. I want you to seek out a mentor. See, because what you know at this point has gotten you to where you're at. And if it could get you to the next level, it would, but it's not. You're going to find yourself running in circles and taking even longer because you don't have someone who is 7, 8, 9 steps ahead of you, who can stop you from making a lot of those mistakes and who can also help you to collapse time. So get you a mentor. Who is the mentor that you're going to get who's already doing the thing that you want to do? And let me tell you this, if you wouldn't trade lives with them, they shouldn't be your mentor. I'm going to say it one more time for the people who don't get it. If you would not trade lives with them, they should not be your mentor. And I don't want to hear you say, I wouldn't trade lives with anybody. See, these are the things that we tell ourselves to keep ourselves stuck. You know that I don't mean to physically trade lives and say that their life is better than yours, but you do know exactly what I'm saying. But we as high achievers, this is what we do. We create these blocks in our heads and these objections to be able to talk ourselves out of situations. I'm going to say it again. If you wouldn't trade lives with the person who you are picking to mentor you, you should not be having that person as a mentor. And don't come up with the foolishness to talk yourself out of this or to give yourself an out. Okay. So then once you have your mentor, you're in a couple of groups because you got to immerse yourself in this new thing. This is about the plan that we're creating. You should have a list of things you need to do at this point. The next thing I need you to do is create a new environment for this new thing that you're going to do. If you need an office space, where's your office space going to be? Is it going to be a portion of your bedroom? Is it going to be the empty bedroom? Is it going to be in your living room? Let's begin to create that space now. See how we're planning? We're planning. Good morning, B. Janice. Good morning. Good morning. So I want you to begin to create that environment. Begin to set it up, because we're planning. So we shouldn't be rushing, and we shouldn't be doing this in a hustle and grind mode. We should be thinking, okay, so I'm gonna need an office space, and I'm gonna need some place that's quiet. I'm gonna need some place where I get a little sunshine. What are the things that you need in order for you to be productive each day in your business? Let's begin to create that environment now. Let's begin to create that environment now. The next thing I want you to do, I want you to know what your options are. I want you to get that handbook, that employee handbook. I done said this probably 1,000 times on this channel. I need you to get that employee handbook. And I need you to review, read line by line. What are the requirements for you to take a leave of absence? Do they offer a sabbatical? What are the guidelines for FMLA? What are the guidelines for sick pool? I need you to read all of that. Each district is different. Trust me, if you have not read your employee handbook, there is some stuff in there that you need to know. And trust me, if you do anything, your job is going to use that employee handbook to get rid of you, do whatever they need to do. And that is the same thing that you get to use to do whatever you need to do. So get that employee handbook. FMLA does not have to be for yourself. It can be for your kids. You could be going through family hardship. It could be for a number of things. It can be for your parents. If you know they do not have to live with you. Stop thinking that the parent has to live with you. It could be for stress. I just talked to someone who their doctor told them to take a stress leave. So I want you to know your options. And then the next thing I want you to do, listen closely to this one, because remember, some of us are making a plan for 3 months. Some of us are making a plan for 6 months. Some of us are making a plan for 9 months. Some of us are making a plan for 12 months. That's where we're at right now. So everybody's plan is going to look different. Hey, Educational Innovation 360. Hey. So I want you to know you need to understand your advantages, whatever they are. What are your advantages? What are your advantages? See, the reason why when we make the plan, first of all, a lot of us don't even make a plan. But the second thing is we don't even think about what are my advantages that I can use to catapult me. What are the relationships that I currently have that I can leverage to support me? What networks am I already a part of that I can use to my advantage? Some of us are members of different organizations. Some of us are in fraternities and sororities. Some of us are a part of 100 Black men, 100 Black women, the National Black Caucus, all of these things. What are the groups that you're a part of? Let's make that list now, because when the time comes, girl, your mind is going to be so full of other stuff. You're not going to be able to think of that. But let me tell you, when you know what the plan is, it makes it so much easier to work the plan. Think about Sister Tabitha Brown. When she saved that money to move back to LA, they had to first save the money. So they had to go to work. They had to cut the expenses. They had to do the things. They had to put the money in the account. They had to not touch the money. But it was all because they knew that they were saving for this goal. And the goal was a part of the vision. And once they got to the vision, they could live in it. You got to have a vision. We created the vision yesterday. If you haven't watched yesterday, go back to YouTube and watch yesterday. We created the vision yesterday. I know it's hard for some of us over 40 to create a new vision for our life. Go to YouTube, watch that session yesterday, come back to this one. Let's get this plan in action. So what are your advantages? Some of us, we speak really well. We talk really well. We're great communicators. Put that advantage down. Some of us, now think about this. Some of us have a prevalent name that we can use. We have a name that we can take advantage of. So what do I mean by that? So, for example, some of us have last names that although you didn't do the thing, somebody in your family or your family is known in your town for something. That's an advantage, people. We can't be afraid to leverage our last names. Some of us have great comedic humor. We can't be afraid to leverage that. What are your advantages? What are the networks that you're in? Some of us, all of us are alumni in somebody's college. Educational Innovation said, what networks are we a part of? I love this. Absolutely. Absolutely. So think about, what networks are you a part of? What do you do? Are you in the National Association of English Teachers? Are you in 100 Black Men? Are you a member of the NAACP? All of you all are alumni at a school. Some of y'all left the school and was like, I'm done. Guess what? You still alumni. They still have a graduate department. They still have an undergrad department in education. So I want us to begin to think about our networks. The next thing I want you to do, this is one that I want y'all to do while y'all in school. All of those organizations that come into your buildings, to support your students. So you know how, like in our school, that's right, they will also still hire you. Absolutely. So think about all of the organizations that come into your building. You've had them in your classrooms. You've been to the gymnasium when they came to present. You know the companies. You know those companies. You know those organizations. You sit there and you talk to those reps and you laugh and joke with them. They tell you about their program that they're doing. In my building, I had a lady who used to come and do mindfulness with my 4th grade students. She would come into the building. She had a contract through me, and she would come and do mindfulness with my 4th graders because my 4th graders were off the chain, like all the way off the chain. And I was like, something needs to happen. And she was what needed to happen. She came in and taught them mindfulness techniques. She was in the classroom with a 4th grade teacher. She wasn't with me. I signed the contract, but she was in the classroom with y'all. Who are the people who come into y'all classroom? Those people know people. So you want to write those people's names down and their emails down now, because once you leave the school system, folks, guess what? They're going to lock you out of your email. You will no longer have access to your email. See how I'm giving you the steps you need now in order to do what you're trying to do 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now. Stuff that you probably wouldn't even thought of. You need to write those emails down so that once you're gone, you can still connect with those people and say, hey, I'm Miss Turner. You were my mindfulness coach at Barbara Jordan with my 4th grade students. I would love to set up a coffee chat with you. Here's my link. Let's chat. You see how that works? It ain't a paragraph. It ain't, a page. It's 2 or 3 sentences. How I know you, who I am, and how we can talk. They don't need to know what you want to talk about. Once they get on the call, and trust me, business people know business. They know business. They know that a coffee chat means that we're going to talk about how we can support one another. Or maybe you just want to ask the person, how they were able to get the contract in the school system. Maybe you want to let them know that you're now doing your own thing and you're no longer in the school system, but they did such an amazing job in the school system. You wanted to see if there were any way that you all could partner together or perhaps work in agreement with one another, because you feel the alignment between you all. You see how this is working? So these are things that you can do now. You got to make the plan. You got to be clear. You got to have strategies. And if we do these things, you're going to begin to get more and more confidence. You're going to get a lot more confidence. The next thing I want you to do, now this is once you are within, probably 30 to 60 days to your exit date, or at least once you've turned in your resignation, because we know that you don't turn in your resignation until, a certain time frame. So the next thing, once you turn that resignation in and it's done, I'm leaving. It's done. I've told everybody, they all know. This is the next thing I want you to do. Some of y'all gonna try to give me some pushback on this. And I'm gonna tell you, don't do it to yourself. Too many of us have done it. Let me tell you what I want you to do. You've given the resignation. The principal has it, the superintendent, HR, whoever needs it has it. You're done. It's over. Now you got to let everybody know. What, Dr. D, you mean let everybody know my business? Listen here. We're going to send a text message to all of the people in our phone, letting them know, hey, I've been serving educators for 20 years as a SPED teacher, and now I'm on the next journey. While I will still be serving educators, I will be doing it under my own consulting company. I'm super excited. Here's the link. I'm open to working with new clients. And if you will please pass along my information to anybody who might need it. That's just the first intro text. Notice I said it's a text. These are people who are in your phone. And you're probably saying, well, those people, they don't want nothing good for me. They talk about me. They say negative things. I know they do. I know they do. But one thing about people like to connect other people to other people. And so as that cousin who works at the box company making boxes, he's talking to somebody else at the bar, and they're talking about something, and they say that they need somebody who their wife works in education. That cousin is going to say, oh, I got a cousin who works in education too. She just quit and started her own business, and boot, boot, boot. See, we got to let people know what it is we do and what it is we're doing. But we don't want to let them know too soon. That's the difference. We don't want to let them know too soon. So once you have done all of those things and you've turned in that resignation, then you can begin to let people know. I would also recommend to those people who maybe have some things going on at school. When I say some things going on at school, I mean for those people who maybe your principal don't like you. Let's be honest. We ain't got to beat around the bush here. Some of y'all got principals that don't like you, who after you. They trying to get you out. You know they trying to get you out. You're in a hostile work environment. You know words are being said about you around the building. People talk about you on low key or on high key, whatever the situation may be. Sister, control this narrative. Y'all don't get me excited. You know I get real excited when I'm trying to help people. Control the narrative. When you turn in that resignation, do not let the rumor mill get started. Don't do it. Don't let the rumor mill get started. Well, you heard Miss Jones, she got fired. She ain't coming back. Y'all hear Miss Jones ain't coming back. Miss Thompson, she ain't coming back. They let her go. They this, they that. Sis, control the narrative. When you turn it in, we not asking permission. You gonna create an email. You gonna do whole school. Put that whole school building on that email. Y'all know y'all got that button where you can send that email to everybody in that building. And you're gonna say, I'm so excited to announce that I have officially submitted my resignation and I will be moving on to my next journey. I'm super excited for myself. I wish you all nothing but the best and great success for your students. And I hope that you are wishing the best for me too. Control the narrative. You can let them know after 20 years of serving the students of ABC Elementary with nothing but pride, I am now excited to announce that I am moving on to my next phase of life. You ain't got to tell them you opening no business. You ain't got to tell them you going to do whatever. But what you gonna do is control that narrative, because soon as they find out you're not coming back, for some of us, they're gonna say they fired her. Yeah, they was after her. They got her. No, baby, I decided I was done. I made my own decision. Okay, Care Cozy. Okay. Okay, Education Innovation 360. And I would say, even if they not after you, control your narrative. Stop letting people say things. Cut it off at the head. Cut it off. We do not have to walk around with our head down. We should be excited that we made a decision for ourselves. We should be excited that we are doing exactly what it is we want to do. And we're going to let them know I'm doing this because I want to do this, not because somebody forced me to. Stop letting people push you up against the wall and then you decide to make a decision. See, the reason why you do that is because you don't trust your next chapter, because you don't know who the author is. You living in default mode. You just doing day to day what you know to do day to day, which is get up and go to work. Get up, go to work, come home, pick them kids up, take care of them kids, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, pick them kids up, take care of them kids, go to bed. That's all you know to do. And so that's all you do, because work is the only thing our parents told us to do. Go to work, get a good job, go to work, and retire. Well, now retirement is real long for away. You don't know how you're going to make it to retirement. You are not a tree. Move. You can change this. Make this plan. Take it seriously. Write it down. It should be visible every single day. I'm just saying. It should be visible every single day. When I was leaving, I knew what I needed to do. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to accept support. Write that down, sisters. Write it down, brother. We're going to accept support. See, because we as high achievers, what we do, I got it. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored, lying through your teeth. You struggling and stressed out and walking around talking about I'm blessed and highly favored because I won't take the help that the Lord sent to me. Because I'm scared to say I need some support too. Because I don't want to say I don't know and I need some help. Accept support. Hey there, Tonisha. Hey. Accept support. Write that down. Accept support. Because we got to remind ourselves to accept support. When somebody comes up, they've already done the thing that you're trying to do, not the whole thing, but part of the thing. And they say, oh, girl, I got this thing. Let me send it to you. You say, oh, that's okay. I got it. You do not. You do not have it. Accept support. For those who don't already have their business set up, if you do not already have your business set up, what are we doing? That got to be a part of the plan. We got to have a part of the plan. When I say set up, I'm not talking about working in the business. I'm talking about the business actually formed, okay? I'm talking about the business actually formed. You did the LLC. This is a one-day process. This is a one-day process to go online to your Secretary of State, set up the business. Better yet, you can go to inkfile.com, INCFILE.com. They just got bought out by another company, but it's still inkfile.com. Pull your state. They click down to your state, click the button that says LLC. They will charge you the exact same amount that your state will charge you for the lowest level package. So like in the state of Missouri, it's $62. In the state of Illinois, it's $300. In the state of Texas, I think it's $300. In the state of Ohio, it's $50. In Nevada, it's like $475. We're not talking about a whole bunch of money here. Some of us got wigs and weaves that cost more than that. Okay? So let's stop putting obstacles and objections into place in order to keep you stuck, to keep you from not moving. Just decide, I'm not going to re-up my wig. My lace going to be up this time because I'm finna get this business set up. So once you get the LLC, the articles of organization, if you need that link to the checklist, I'll attach the link to the checklist. Look in the comments on my YouTube video. And it's free. Absolutely free. Just click the button. It'll give you a checklist on what you need to do. Set up your business. Then call the IRS, irs.gov, not call them. Just go to irs.gov and put in for an EIN number. They give it to you absolutely free. As long as it's doing business hours, you'll get it immediately. And then go to the bank and set up your bank account. You don't need $100, $200 to set up the bank account. You need maybe $50 at the most, but most places only require $25 to set up. And guess what? Now you have a legally formed business. You have a legally formed business. We're not going to go back and forth between this business address, home address. I don't want people to know where I live. We're not doing that, people. We're not doing the obstacles. We're not doing the objections. Home-based businesses are a norm now. COVID changed all of that. You can get business credit and everything through a home-based business. I sit here in my home in the attic right now with dozens, let me show you, dozens of credit cards. Y'all see that? That are right here to this address, which is my home. And I started from scratch. So home-based businesses are a real thing now. Consultants have always had home-based businesses because we work remote in satellite offices, and many of us are going to be consultants because we're going to sell our expertise. We're going to sell digital products. We're going to sell information. We are going to have a home-based business, and we work out of our satellite offices. When I go to Schaumburg, when I go to Janesville, when I go to Pattonville, when I go to all of these different places and work in those schools, they give me a space to work in. They say, when you come here, this is your space. And that's where I work. I don't buy different offices everywhere I go. I have a home-based business. You can have a home-based business. Let me tell you, B. Janice says, I really appreciate you breaking this down. No problem, B. Janice. No problem whatsoever. Thank you. Thank you. And so if you live in an apartment, let me give you the hack for an apartment. If you live in an apartment and your address is 17238 Sunshine Berry Lane, apartment B, well, now you are Suite B for your business. SUITE, Suite B. If you're apartment 712, you are Suite. STE is the abbreviation 712. So for your business, you are B. Janice and Associates at 1728 Langley Lane, Suite 75. That's just your apartment number. You're just turning it into a suite, and it's gonna have your business name on it. Okay. So that should be on your exit plan. A part of the exit plan is establishing the business, getting all those pieces set up. You're going to straighten out your credit. You're going to get a credit card that's just in case. Let me tell y'all why you want that credit card. Let's say you turn in the resignation. You're in work mode. You're in progress mode. You're doing all the things. Sometimes there's a lag between when you talk to the people for the contract and they say, oh yeah, I love the work you're doing, educational innovations. I love this. We definitely want your program. Just talk to someone who's in my program. She went to the meeting on April 3rd. They said, oh, this is amazing. Let's get the paperwork done because we're doing this fall. When schools start back in August, we're going to be set and ready to go. That contract is a really good contract for her. But what is she going to do between April and August? Now, most times we will get a deposit, a 50% deposit. But again, sometimes it's a lag. If I'm talking to you in April about money that you plan to use for the 2024-2025 school year, and that does not start until July 1st, 2024. So they can't spend that money until July 1st, 2024, where most principals, administrators take their holiday, their vacation between July 1st and July 15th, for those who don't know. That's when most school administrators, curriculum coordinators, central office staff, building principals. That's typically when you take your vacation, because you got summer school, first of all. So many of us were finished with summer school around that June 30th, maybe July 8th, somewhere around there, depending on when it started. I'm in Missouri, so we get out of school at the end of May. Summer school is 30 days, June 1 through June 30th. You close out summer school, and then you do 7-10 days of vacation. Superintendent ain't taking vacation because summer school's still in. So once summer school is over, the superintendent heading to Cabo, the superintendent headed to Puerto Rico, the superintendent headed to wherever they're headed to. So it's a break. You're not getting any money because everybody's on vacation. So then 11-month employees come back, which are typically your principals. They come back around July 17th, between like the 17th and the 22nd, somewhere in that. And that's when those admin days start. That's when the admin retreat is. That's when admin training is. And that's likely when you will be able to get them back on the phone, get the invoice signed. And so do you see the gap? B. Janice says, how do you know if you're setting up a nonprofit or a regular? Ooh, B. Janice. B. Janice, now, B. Janice. Let me finish this thought, B. Janice. And you can't get mad at me for my answer, B. Janice, okay? You got to commit right now that I'm not going to get mad at Dr. D when she tell me the truth. And I'm going to give it to you in love, okay? But let me tell y'all, so this is why you need that to increase your credit limit and to get an extra credit card, okay? This is why. Because there is sometimes a gap. And even though you may close a contract in August, you may not work that contract until September. And so what are you going to do in between then? Yeah, you're going to work to close more contracts. But like in our situation, we have a person who is looking at a $200,000 contract. That's going to take up a lot of her time. So while she is going to be working to close another contract, she got $200,000 in the bag. You see what I'm saying? So with $200,000 in the bag, she can breathe a little bit. She's like, oh, okay, I'm good. They love the product. They love the program. Let's count this. We're going to still work to get another one. But at the end of the day, if anything happens, her house note still needs to be paid. Her car note still needs to be paid. All of her stuff still needs to be paid. And so if push comes to shove and shove comes to push, she going to get that credit card and use that and divert that money to pay that house note and that car note, okay? I'm just saying, we paying house note and car note. We can let some other stuff go over, but we paying house note and car note. And I'm just giving y'all the truth. Now, I ain't finna sit here and pretend with y'all. I'm a real person. I know what it's like to have struggles. And I'm just saying, sometimes we got to move money. And I'm giving you options. Whether or not you like them options, that's on you. But I'm telling you, if I was creating a plan, and I'm telling you, this is part of the plan that I created. Okay, so B. Janice wants to know, how do you know if you're setting up a nonprofit or a regular business is best? B. Janice, she's already committed that she's not going to get mad at me, okay? And she wrote okay in the chat, okay? B. Janice, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to tell you something about what women do. So as women, we are the ones who will typically set up nonprofit businesses. And we set it up because of a couple of reasons. We want to help and we want to support, but we also want to live our vision and not be responsible for it. I know we don't like to hear that. If you can't take care of yourself and you're not living the life of your dreams and you're not making enough money to satisfy your life and the desires that you have, why are we then going to try to take care of somebody else? And we think that it's the noble thing to do, but it's not. It's not. There is nothing wrong with setting up a nonprofit after you got yourself together. So many times that nonprofit can stem from your for-profit. Right now, you need to make profits for you, and that nonprofit ain't finna pay you. How many nonprofits out here? Go look it up. You will see it's a whole bunch of them out here. I'm going to always recommend to every woman in the world, set up your own for-profit business first. Once you set up your own for-profit business first, once you set that up and you are making money it is making revenue. You are supporting your ideal client. They are paying for your expertise, and you are doing the thing that you always dreamed of doing, or even if it's not what you dreamed of doing, but it is a way for you to fund your dream. Then you can take time, because then you'll have more time. Then you can set up a nonprofit to support and give back. But we cannot keep pouring from an empty cup. Here we are sitting here with a cup that ain't got nothing in it. Ain't nothing in it. Ain't nothing in it. And we trying to pour something into somebody else's cup. No, let's fill our own cup up. Let's get the good water bottle and let's fill our own cup up. And then once our cup is overflowing, we're going to take some of that overflow and we're going to say, okay, so now I'm going to set up this nonprofit because I'm ready to give back. And not to mention, that's also a tax advantage as well. So the tax advantage is I got a for-profit and then I have a nonprofit arm, and that nonprofit arm feeds into that for-profit arm, and that for-profit arm feeds into that nonprofit arm. But now I'm not saying this is you, B. Janice. I'm not saying this is you. It's a lot of people who think I'm going to set up a nonprofit and I'm going to get grants and stuff. Why are we looking for other people to fund our dreams? Why do we think it's somebody else's responsibility to fund our dreams? You can get grants and stuff in your for-profit. See, that's the tease right there. You can get grants in your own for-profit. But when we're looking for other people to fund our dreams, we're thinking, I'm going to set up a nonprofit and I'm going to take donations and I'm going to fill out for grants and I'm going to get this money and then I'm going to give back and I can do what I want to do. I won't have to work, and no. We as women, we got to stop playing small. We got to be willing to invest. Jenny says this makes so much sense. We got to invest in our own dreams. We can't expect other people to invest more in our dreams than we invested in ourselves. Yep, we're going to have to spend some money. Yep, mentors ain't free. Yep, coaches ain't free. Yep, courses ain't free. Yep, conference is not free. Nope, them products you want to make is not going to be free. The systems you going to use is not going to be free. But I tell you what, you're working hard already. You're working hard already and you're miserable. Why don't you try working hard and being satisfied? What about working hard and living the life of your dreams? What about working hard and dreaming and loving it? How many of us say, I love my life, and you're honest about it? See, some of us say it as a form of affirmation. Some of us say it as a form of affirmation, but it's not our true state right now. Baby, when I say I love my life, I love the life that I've created for myself. I love the life that I've created for my family. When I say I love my life, I love my life. I love what God has done for me. I love the way God has blessed me. And that's with the good and the bad, because I understand for every good, there's a bad. But we got to stop playing small as women, wanting other people to fund our dreams, not wanting to take a risk, and not being willing to say what it is we want, and not being willing to get clear on what it is that we want, because we're too worried about what other people are going to say, how they're going to judge us, what they're going to say about us behind our backs. What people say about you behind your back is none of your business. It's none of your business at all. And quite frankly, it's very petty. I'm going to stop doing what I need to do because they talking about me. That don't even make sense. And for those who are afraid and are thinking, well, I'm going to lose people along the way. You sure are. You absolutely are. When you get ready to leave this school system, we just created an exit plan. When you get ready to leave that job, guess what? All those people who've been on your job with you for 15, 20 years, you ain't finna hear from them again. You ain't finna hear from them again. Every now and then you'll get a text. Every now and then you'll bump into them. But these people who you put so much influence and so much of your life on, when you leave this job, that relationship is going to end when you leave this job, because a lot of y'all don't even know those are not your friends. You think those are your friends, but you are friends by proximity and you are friends through trauma. The trauma of, I don't like that principal, that instructional coach get on my nerves. This other teacher, she make us sick. She always got something to say. We have trauma bonds. And we just so happen to be at work with each other every single day. Yep, you text every single day. Every morning we send kikis, we send kakas. On the weekends we send ooh-oohs and we send ah-ahs. It's all fun and games until you turn that resignation letter in and don't show up at their job in August. Then guess what? You're just another thought. But we based everything that we were going to do of what they were going to say. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. Do the things that you need to do to create your exit strategy. This is your life. You get to live it. You only get one life. And some of us think that you get to live every day. Babe, you only die one time. You only die one time. Look there. Tanisha says, so true. Friends by proximity. Some of us don't believe it. And it's going to take a little fat meat to show you. Yeah, they're going to text you at first when you first leave, but watch how those messages die down. Those are not your friends. See, because a lot of us don't establish what the real relationship is. You are colleagues. You're colleagues. You're not friends. I have conversations with people about this all the time, trying to lump everybody into one category. And that's what we've been. A lot of us have never been a part of healthy relationships. And so we think that everything is the same, just like we start talking to a man on the phone and we think that's our man. No, he's free to date whoever he wants to date, and you're free to date whoever you want to date, but you stop dating other people because you was talking to him every day. That don't make sense. He never said that you all were exclusive. He never said that you all were in a relationship. Yep, he checked on you every morning. Yep, he called you at lunch every day. That is just an associate. That's all that is. This is just a phone buddy who I talk to on the phone. This is just somebody who texts me. But then you take it upon yourself and you stop talking to all of the other people you were talking to. But guess what? He's still talking to the people he was talking to. That's because we lump everybody into these same categories. We call everybody our friend. But if you go into the hospital today, let's see how many of them friends showing up at that hospital every day. They might come once, and when they coming to see what you look like. They coming to see how bad it is. They coming to see, is she really hurt? They ain't coming to help you. They're not showing up every day. They're not coming to help your kids. They're not picking your kids up from school. They're not bringing lunches and dinners for your kids. They're not going to help your kids get packed and ready for school. They're not doing those things. That's what friends do. When my friends go into the hospital, baby, I'm there. I'm there. I'm there. They got kids. I'm calling, hey, Brooke, what's going on? What you need today? You got everything you need. Brooke, 17 years old. Okay, tell me if you need anything. I'm right here. Let me know. I'm sending text messages. Everything okay? I'm calling up to the hospital. Okay, I'm going to work from 7 to 3. When I get off, I'm coming up to the hospital. You need me to bring some? Chanel, you ain't got to come to the hospital. I know I ain't got to come, but I am. I'm on my way. What you need me to bring? You want me to get you a little Chick-fil-A? What you need me to bring? And even when they say don't bring that, I'm gonna bring you some magazines, I'm gonna bring you an iPad, I'm bring you all types of stuff. Because that's what friends do in my world. I don't know what type of friendships y'all got. I had a sister who was in the hospital for 2 years straight. We never missed a day. We rotated the shifts because that's what you do. At least those are the boundaries that we've set for our friendships, for our relationships. What have you set? A lot of us ain't got no boundaries set. Y'all, don't get me started. Okay, so I'm just saying we can't base our lives off those people that are at work because that's going to be over with. And then the last thing I'm going to tell y'all, the reason why we need to make this plan, okay? The reason why we got to make this plan. And let me see, is anybody making the plan? Come on now, tell me about it. Are y'all making a plan or am I on here just wasting time and just talking to myself and not doing anything productive? Because y'all know I like to be productive with my time. Now, Lord Jesus, come on, talk to me in the chat. Kara Cozy said, got to unlearn a lot of stuff. Yes, yes. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm only telling y'all this because I love y'all. I want the best for you. I want the best for you. There are some people who say they want the best for you, then they do stuff and hide stuff from you and keep stuff from you. That ain't me. I live in a world of abundance, and I know that you getting contracts, you living your dream, you doing the things you want to do has no impact on what I want to do. I know that there's enough for you and there's enough for me because the top is empty. It's the bottom that's full. We got plenty of room up here at this top, and I'm sending my hand down to pull you up, but you gotta grab on, and you can't try to pull me down with you. You can attract your dream, but you got to get out of survival mode. You cannot continue to be the same person trying to go after a new dream. Some of us are in survival mode. The reason why we're creating this plan is because it is imperative that you get out of survival mode. We're not in survival mode, people. Some of us have been in survival mode for so long, we don't even know that we're in survival mode. She said, they better plan. I couldn't plan. The Lord pushed me in the water, knowing I couldn't swim. Then said, told you could do it. That's what I'm talking about. See, some people get pushed. Exactly, Care Cozy. And then other people get the opportunity to plan. For those people who have this opportunity, you say you don't know what to do. You say you're ready to go. You say that you're miserable. You say that you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. You're doing this to yourself. The Lord didn't say this is what all you can have. You're the one who said this was all that you can have. And so the appropriate thing to do is to create a plan which will help you with the fear that you're experiencing, which will take away that anxiety that you have. But you cannot attract your dream in survival mode. You got to attract this dream to you. You got to be on the same vibrational frequency. You got to be on the same vibrational frequency. You can't be in the, I'm mad, I'm angry, they make me sick, I hate my job, I'm tired of all of this, they keep taking advantage of me. You're not going to attract the dream that you're looking for with that energy. So when you have a plan, you can say, this job is funding my new adventure. When you have a plan, you can say, I know exactly why I'm showing up to work every day. When you have a plan, you can say, this too shall pass. I'm on my way to my next level, a bigger and better level. You can say, I get it, I got it, and this is about to be over with. You can make a plan, and you can work the plan. Hey, Tasha Scott, she said, and did and meant every word of it. Cara Cozy says, until they have no other choice but to bet on themselves. And why we got to be pushed to bet on ourselves? You know what? I got to say, I always been that person, and I teach my boys. We got a saying in our house. If you want to win, put an Adams in. If you want to win, put an Adams in. We let them know you're going in to win. You are a winner. Bet on yourself. Everybody else is going to bet on you because they know that you're going to win, but you won't bet on yourself. Why we got to be pushed to bet on ourselves? You ain't got to push me to bet on myself. I'm going to spend the money. I'm going to use the time. I'm going to sacrifice whatever I need to do because I got faith. And I know for a fact that I'm going to do what I need to do. If you say that it can happen and you show me evidence of it, oh, then I can make it happen for me. I know how to make that same thing happen for me. So I need for us to know that you can't attract your dream in survival mode. You can't, you just going to keep going back to your same situation. You're going to keep going back to your same situation. That's right. Tasha say, I'm going to win. I'm in my lane of brilliance. All right. Letitia, yes, you have. I sent that personally myself. Letitia says she sent me an email, and yes, I sent that personally myself. Now, I will re-forward you the email, but you need to check your email and you need to check your spam because I sent that personally myself. And if I'm not mistaken, I sent it twice. So go check your email and check your spam. And I'll tell you what, a lot of times people have more than one email in my system. Know that I don't put the emails in. Y'all put the emails in. So a lot of us have more than one actual email address. And so when you sign, whatever you sign up for, that's the email address that it's going to. But I can't tell you what email it is. That's why it's called automation. So if you signed up for stuff under 3 different emails, you got 3 different emails in my system. I don't go into that system to see which email it came from, but I do know That same email that you sent, I responded to that same email. So go back to that email. That's right, Tasha. We can't keep going back. We cannot keep going back, because what is going to happen when you left? It was a reason why you left. And so when you go back, what you think you're going back to? I have, I'm just going to say this, and this is for me personally. I'm not talking about for anybody else. I ain't never been blessed for anything that I went back to. I've been back before. That's how I know not to go back. Anytime I left a space, a place, a situation, and then I decided to go back to that thing, I was never blessed. It was never what I thought it was going to be. As a matter of fact, most times it was worse. And that's what made me say, I can only go forward. I will never go backwards. Every single time. Every time I took a relationship back, every time I went back to somewhere where it wasn't a good experience, anytime I went back, that situation was never blessed. And some of y'all know that's true right now. Some of us took men back, women back, relationships back. I recently had a friendship that was that was coming back into that had been severed, and then they came back, and I was like, oh, that is so cool. You know what? That was a long time ago. We both different people. It's okay. You know what? The Lord went on and tapped me on the shoulder and said, girl, ain't we done learned this lesson already? Girl, didn't I tell you that we don't go back, we only go forward? Sure enough, I felt the tap. And I said, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this. All it took was that next phone call. And I knew you ain't supposed to be doing this. And after I hung that phone up, I said, I will not be taking any more calls. I will not continue this. We will not rekindle this. No. Because we have to know that we should be going forward. We will be going forward. What Tasha say? She will respond facts all day. She responded to me multiple times. That's right. Don't go back. Sweet peas and collard greens, please don't go back. So I want y'all to know, like, we cannot attract our dream in survival mode. We got to get out of survival mode. We got to take responsibility for our lives. We got to be responsible for our dreams. And like Angel Reese said, do you trust your next chapter? She said, I trust my next chapter because I know who the author is. Y'all better listen to these little young folks. Baby, she dropped all of the bombs on you. She let you know you need to know who your author is. Who is your author? Who is your author? And why don't you trust the person who's writing the book? You're writing the book. Why don't you trust what your next chapter is? You get to write it. And today we've created an exit plan. And all you have to do is work the plan. You have what you need for the plan. Now, for each month, you need to write down. If you know you need $9,000 and you got 9 months, you're going to try to save $1,000 every month. Let me tell you a little cheat code. Why would you try to save off what you already got, what you're getting, and you couldn't survive off that? See, I would try to bring in more income. See, some of us ain't thought about that. I'm just throwing this on as a little icing on the cake, y'all. I'm just giving y'all a little icing on the cake. Why would you do that? All these ways that they've shown us how to make money. All of these, hey, Roxy B. Styling, hey, girl. All these ways that they've shown you how to make money. And you insist on going to the school and doing what they told you to do 30 years ago. Tasha says one income was never going to be enough. Exactly. I don't even understand this. And this is a problem for those 40 and older, because baby, these millennials, they got it and gone with it. This Generation X, we so stuck in our ways. We so stuck. Why would you set this plan up and say, I'm going to save my way? Ain't we learned that we can't save our way? Great morning. Great morning. All right. An educator's life. There are so many ways you can make money. There are so many ways. Sell your expertise. Stop giving it away for free. Stop giving it away for free. Some of y'all making t-shirts, making crafts, making products. Sell that. That's extra money. That shouldn't be what you're going out to dinner with. That shouldn't be what you are buying birthday gifts with. And I say that because I got to go buy a birthday gift. That shouldn't be that money. That's extra money that's going into your account. When somebody says, would you come and talk to my parent group? Is there a budget for that? That's your response. Is there a budget for that? We don't get paid because we don't ask to. We don't get paid because we don't ask to. It's so many ways to make money. You go and you go to the store for people. If you didn't go, they was going to pay Instacart. They was going to pay DoorDash, but they don't pay you. They don't pay you. And then you got to put gas in your car, but you were helping them. You didn't ask to get paid. You can let them know, oh, I would have been able to do it, but I don't have any gas in my car. If they want it, they'll say, well, I'll give you some gas money. But no, you hop up. I get it for you. Let me go. I'm on my way that way anyway, because you don't want to look like you broke. Because you don't want to look like you broke. It ain't about being broke. It's about my time is valuable. These are my priorities over here. And I should be paid for my expertise and for my time. That's right. A closed mouth does not get fed. A closed mouth does not get fed. B. Janet says, I'm not 40 as of yet, but that's been my issue, being stuck in an old mindset of college and then getting a job and living off that. Exactly. But B. Janice, this is what has happened. And it's not just 40-year-olds, but this is what happened. Our parents grew up in a time where the goal was to go get a job, get a good education, get a job, and then get a good job. You know, them federal jobs, them government jobs, them teacher jobs, you know, that's them good jobs. Back then, there was them Chrysler jobs and them GE jobs. There was them good jobs. And you stay there for 30 years, you retire, and then you live your good life. That's what our parents taught us. And they told us, you save your money. You save for a rainy day. Child, you make sure you save for a rainy day. And that was true. That was true for them. That was true for them. That's right. With benefits. Girl, they talked about them benefits. You can't talk about them benefits. That's all they talked about. And what do we talk about? We talk about the same thing. We talk about our sick days. We talk about our days off. We talk about how good our health insurance is, even though it's likely trash. We talk about, I got life insurance on the job. Soon as they fire you, your life insurance is over with. Soon as you leave, your life insurance is over with. But that's what our parents taught us, because that was the thing back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That worked. It worked beautifully. Many of y'all parents, along with my parent, bought homes from this, was able to buy cars, was able to put kids through college. It worked back then, okay? But now we're in a different time, and we cannot instill the habits and routines and mindsets of the 70s, 80s, and 90s and operate in them and instill them in our kids in 2024. You're setting them up for failure. Just like right now, we're following what our parents taught us, and it's not the thing that we need to do. We got this new wave, a new understanding. Of course, it's 30 years done passed. What are we talking about? And these folks done told you, you can have multiple streams of income. You don't have to leave your job to bring in more income. Some of us, we scared to put our car on Turo. We're scared to Airbnb. We're even scared to get a roommate. I know somebody right now living in a house so big till it's ridiculous. She live in one room of the house in the living room. She got her bedroom, her living room, bathroom. All the rest of that house is big and available. Got doors that will shut them off from her. And so we made the suggestion. We was like, well, what you gonna do? And she was like, well, nothing. And we was like, why you won't rent a room out? Rent a room out to somebody that you know, or to somebody who's looking for something. You're in a college area. You know some of these college people. You can rent this out for $1,500 a month. What would $1,500 a month do for you? We're so worried about being uncomfortable that we're not realizing that in order to get to comfort, it takes a bit of discomfort. We won't do any of the things. We won't sell anything on eBay. We won't have a yard sale and get rid of all that stuff in our closet. Get rid of all that stuff in our closet. Right outside on your front lawn. Put some signs up. Extra income, people. This is how you fund your exit plan. What's wrong if you need to go drive Uber? If you need to do some Instacart? If you need to do some DoorDash? I know right now the stat shows that 56% of all teachers in the United States of America work 2 jobs. 2 jobs. And 2 jobs is for 2 people. 2 jobs are for 2 people. If you're not 2 people, you should not be working 2 jobs. My sister taught me that when I was 16 years old. My sister taught me that. You can bring income in without having a job by selling your expertise, by selling your skills, by selling your talents. And you can do that right now. You can do that right now. Them kids you babysitting, that's a talent. They want you to babysit because they know you know how to take care of them kids. Why you not charging? Why you not charging? Some of y'all keep kids every weekend. Go ahead and set you up a weekend daycare, girl. Go ahead and say, okay, y'all young folks want to go out and party. That's what y'all want to do. I'll take 3 of y'all kids from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. the next morning or 7 a.m. the next morning. Y'all gonna pay me $50 or $60 a piece. So I'm gonna make $200 this night. In one night, I'm gonna make $200. Whatever the price is, I'm just making up a price. But I'm just saying, you're doing it anyway for free. Some of y'all picking kids up from school 2 and 3 times a week. Go ahead and call that person and say, look, instead of you calling me at the end of the day and throwing off my schedule, let's just go ahead and set something up. I'll pick your kids up Monday through Friday from school, drop them off at your house, and you just pay me $150 every week. But you scared to say that, ain't you? You scared to say that, ain't you? You scared to tell them that. Why? Why are you scared to tell them that? You're doing it for free. You're already doing it. And if you stopped, they would pay somebody else to do it. Kara Cozy said, yet some of us are uncomfortable at school every day. Exactly. We are uncomfortable at school every day, but we won't do any of the things that we need to do to move away from that uncomfortable situation. And then we don't want to do anything else that makes us uncomfortable. It takes discomfort to get to comfort. All of us had to sacrifice. You're going to work hard in private and you can be praised in public. And whether y'all know it or not, you're going to sacrifice in private and the Lord going to bless you in public. That's what's going to happen. It's what you do during the day. When I get off this call, it's the stuff that I do here at the house that gets me blessed in public. It's the emails that I send. It's the calls that I make. It's the networking that I do. It's the blessings that I give to other people. Those things are done in private. Y'all don't see me coming on here telling you everything that I did. It was in private. We got to do those things in private. But I promise you, the Lord going to bless you in public. People going to get to see you jetting off to all of your fancy locations. People going to get to see you upgrading your car. People going to see you speaking on stages. People going to see your book being purchased. People are going to see and hear how people calling your name and asking for you. But it only comes from the work that we do in private. But what are we doing in private? Are we all on Instagram? Are we on YouTube? Are we on TikTok? Are we looking at foolishness? Are we watching the Housewives? Are we worried about Charles and Netta? Somebody called me last night to my girl, you seen this Charles and Netta? I said, Charles and Netta, how much they getting paid? She said, girl, she an icon. I said, how much you getting paid? Every time you watch it, she getting paid. Then she had to tell me, because I didn't know. She said, well, it's a she, but it's a he. Girl, get off my phone with this foolishness while you need to be over there building your business, but you so caught up in Charles and Netta that you had to stop and call me to see if I don't watch Charles and Netta to try to pull me into your foolishness because you don't know how to manage yourself to operate on the things that are priority for you, because right now, Charles and Netta is the priority for you. Sometimes we got to help our friends. She was like, let me get off here because I definitely need to be working in my business and I needed that redirection. Y'all stop letting people distract y'all. Stop letting people pull you off of your goals. We got to be willing to bring money in. We got to be willing to ask to be paid for our services. This is how you can fund this exit plan. Fund the exit plan. We're not going out getting another job. Anybody who had getting another job on the list, that ain't what we doing. That ain't what we doing. We're going to bring some more income in, and we're going to bring it in through selling our expertise, selling our services. Some of us need to be creating some products, but we need to be selling it. And stop thinking that you're going to sell it to the people in your house, because you're not. You're not. Let people know what it is you're doing, and people will call you. They will call you when they know that you have time available and that you are willing to do this. Some of y'all can be tutoring kids after school. Don't charge no $25, $35 an hour. No. For 8 sessions, it's going to be $600. You can make the payment in 2 payments, $300 a piece. $300 to get started, and the next $300 on the 7th session. Stop talking about we're going to charge $50 a session. They are getting a certified educator who knows what they're doing with 20 years of experience. We're not charging $25 an hour, $30 an hour. So don't sit here and say, I don't know how I can make money. I'm giving you ideas right here. I'm giving you ideas right here to bring more income into your household, to be able to fund this exit plan that I've talked to you about. Hey, Sherry Benjamin. Hey. So let's make sure that we are willing to accept payment for our services. B. Janet says, this is so helpful, Dr. D. You could easily be charging us for this, and you're giving it away at no cost. Absolutely. It's a whole bunch of people who will charge you for everything that I just shared in this live. And here's the gag. Here go the gag right here, B. Janice. Here go the gag right here. I'm giving it to us free, right? Every single day. I done been on here every single day in the month of April and a couple of days in March. Some people won't even go back to listen to the other lives because they don't even know if you put them pieces together, it's going to all turn into something, right? They don't even get it. I ain't got time to listen to that. That was an hour and a half, but you had time for Charles and Netta. You had time for Risa Tisa. You had time for Random Man in Atlanta. You had time for whatever you watch on YouTube. We got time for all of the wrong stuff. You need a Dr. D in your life to talk to you for an hour and a half, to get your day going, to help you refocus, to stop. See, we're in a society where wrong has been made right and right has been made wrong, where people get penalized for having clear communication. I ain't cussed y'all. I ain't talked about y'all. I ain't downed y'all. I ain't said nothing negative to you. I don't do that. I'm a very respectful person, but I'm also not about that foolishness. I'm not about that foolishness. And the people around me know I'm not doing that foolishness. Life is too short. I ain't got time for Charles and Netta. And this don't mean I don't have fun. I have fun every single day. I have joy in my life every single day. But it's not because somebody said, girl, watch Charles and Netta, and I'm going to watch it because everybody else is watching it. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. You know what's fun to me? I'm finna go to Costco and get a cake for my niece's 25th birthday. And then I'm getting her 25 gifts, baby. And I'm putting them in red boxes. And we going to play again. That's what's fun to me. What's fun to me is when I go to my Mother's Day event and we get to design our own fragrance. We get to design our own fragrance, and I get to sit with some sisters who are elevated, who understand love, who understand sisterhood, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to kiki, and we're going to caca, and we're going to drink all flavored mimosas, and we're going to design our elegant fragrance. We're going to create candles with our signature scent. We're going to leave there, and we're going to go to the most exquisite dinner on this side of town, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to kiki, and we're going to do us a good photo shoot, and we're going to do all the things. You know what's fun to me? That when I get off here, my husband is downstairs, and I'm going down there, and I already told him I'm going to Costco. You going with me? And he said, yeah, I'm going with you. And when we get to Costco, we're going to walk leisurely through the store. We're going to look at all of the sales and deals, and we're going to put whatever we want in the basket because our bank account allows us to get things that are not on the list. You know what's fun to me? That I'm going to come back home, and if the rain is stopped and the sun is out, I'm going to sit on the porch with my big black dog, Roxy, and my little baby, Mr. Russell, who trying to transition into another land, but I'm not claiming that he's going to stay with us for a little while longer. And I'm going to sit out there and I'm going to let the wind fall against my face. And this little hair that I got out, it's going to blow in the wind. That's what's fun to me. That's what's fun to me. It ain't fun to me watching Charles and Netta make money on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever they at. That ain't fun to me. It ain't fun to me watching other people take trips. It ain't fun to me watching other people in their pretty clothes and I can't have them. That ain't fun to me. That, I promise you, that ain't fun to me. What's fun to me? Planning this birthday party that I'm planning. What's fun to me? Planning Juneteenth, this Black rodeo. Oh my goodness, that's fun to me. That's right, Kara Coles. She said, that's fun, the good life. So we got to get into perspective. We are in a society where wrong has been made right and right has been made wrong. And that is the elevation of from where we used to be. Because we used to be in the world of where we treated the right people wrong and the wrong people right. We done elevated now to a point where wrong has been made right and right has been made wrong. So we excuse everybody's behavior. We allow anything to go. We sell our morals for anything, and we stand for nothing. We stand for nothing. We tear each other down, and I'm not for that. I'm for uplifting. I'm for empowerment. I'm for abundance. We can all live a good life. Girl, you want some of this good life? Let me help you out. It ain't enough for you. If I tell you, it ain't gonna be enough for me. No, sis, it's enough for all of us. It's enough for all of us. Come on, let's get it. Let's do it. But guess what? It requires some work. And a lot of us are not willing to work. We want it for free. We want to get it, but we don't want to do what it takes to get it. And what we don't know is that you hurting yourself by not doing the things. It's easier to sleep late to 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's easier to scroll on social media. It's easier to watch TV. It's easier to procrastinate and make excuses. It's easier to say yes to people who are nothing but a distraction in your life. That's the easy way. We can all do that. We can all look at the Netflix specials. We can all engage in Tubi. We can all do that. That's the easy way. And you're going to get the same thing everybody else got. Or we can determine that our discipline is what feeds our vision. And so when you know what your vision is, which is what we've been working on for these past 3-4 days, then you know what it is you need to do and you know what it is you shouldn't do. You know what it is. And this is not about determining what's right or wrong, because that's another element. That's a whole nother element. All of this justification of I'm living the right way. No. We ain't doing that. Live the way you see fit. Live the way you see fit. But also be willing to own, I got this because this is what I chose. So there is no wrong or right way to live. Whatever you choose is on you. But also know that what you get is a result of what you chose. So with that being said, I'm going to end this. I'm going to let us go so I can get on over to Costco and go down the aisles and check out the samples and put a little stuff in my basket and design my niece's her 25th. And y'all know these young folks is something else. Instead of it being her 25th, she said it's her 25th, as in filthy, her 25th. I said, why we got to do that? Why we got to do that? So this is her 25th. So I already see that she gonna come in there with something on that is gonna give me a heart attack. I'm just saying, my niece is I understand that my niece is very 25. So yes, so what she say? I'll forward it back to you, Letitia. But again, I've already sent it. And no, we don't have a phone number for you to call. But I'll send it to the email that you sent it to. So all right, y'all. That's it for me. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and I will talk to y'all later.